paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Fried. Alongside of me, our co-host, Harry Glanz. Alex Nafusi. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Harv. What's happening? New bumper music from Gunny rolling in today, huh?
Good
New
stuff.
music. That's good stuff.
We are broadcasting live, as always, 248-539-9797. We take all your calls here on a gorgeous spring day. It's not even quite summer yet, Alex, so it's okay that it was like 49 degrees last night.
It did get cold last night, yes.
It was definitely a little on the chilly side, and we're going to have a gorgeous weekend. So if you're out there looking at homes today, definitely fill up the tank at $4 a gallon and go out there and see as many as you can.
So remember back in the day we were talking about, how interest rates, everybody wants to know what interest rates are. And how come nobody is alarmed that gas is at $4 a gallon? How come you never hear it? So back in the day, right, when gas went from $1.75 a gallon to $2 a gallon, which wasn't that long ago, people went crazy. Now it's double that. It's $4 a gallon. You never hear anything.
People I think they just get their priorities just out of whack sometimes.
That's so
I'll
crazy.
take a beating over $50 and in closing costs, yet you'll pay
Right,
$4.05.
for a gallon of gas.
A gallon to drive up north. It's ridiculous.
And by the way, and I'm sure there'll people calling and argue with me, there really is no reason. There's no production shortage, none of that. Forget about that. There isn't. But that's another show for another
I don't
day.
want to go. I was going to say, I don't totally want to go down that road this morning with the roads.
Talking about the economy.
Well, right, the road. How do you go on vacation, which is essentially what it is? How do you go on vacation without getting a roads bill passed? Have you driven around our roads? Have you seen what's going on here?
The guys up there in Lansing definitely have some work to do.
We're just leaving.
See you. We'll be back.
We'll be leaving.
Hey, we're going to take your calls on mortgages and real estate, by the way.
Hi. Yeah, you've got a loan in process. Well, I don't care. I'm leaving.
I'm taking a month off.
Yeah, I'm taking a long time off. You don't get your loan.
Hey, guys, mortgage rates are fantastic, by the way. The Treasury yields don't directly dictate mortgage rates, but the MBS, the mortgage-backed securities that actually dictate rates, tend to come along for the ride when Treasuries make a big move like yesterday. Things are great. The strong Treasury auctions results were accompanied by headlines out of Iraq, as well as some heavy selling off on Wall Street yesterday. Both contributed to a movement in lower Treasury yields. So, again, mortgage interest rates, 40, 50-year lows, still fantastic. That's not even part of the conversation anymore.
Not even part of the conversation.
As most families are out there driving around trying to get their offers accepted. We're going to talk all about that today, and we're expecting your calls at 248-539-9797. Always some strategies about how to purchase a house in today's market. Definitely talk about the approval letters and how to get some other things organized.
Well, I think it's really important. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good, baby.
Buddy.
Go with it.
It's really important, I think, that you have a bona fide mortgage commitment. A pre-approval, quite frankly, it's not worth the paper it's printed on. It really isn't. I mean, it's worth nothing. And what I do for my clients is I actually do a mortgage commitment, which means I verified your funds to close. I verified your pay stub. We've run your credit. I mean, it's as close as you're going to get to being a cash buyer without actually being a cash buyer.
What I like about that, too, Alex, and we bring that up consistently about how strong the approval letter is and how we just move forward with the approval process, get it into even the underwriter's hands to make sure everything's good. But that at that time, it's the strategy. And out there, you better have a plan. So we're really going to talk about that. Who are you working with? What information do you know? Do you understand if you overbid on a house, what are the consequences? Sometimes a seller might take a bid that is the highest bid, yet it doesn't always work out that way. So, again, there's so much going on out there when you're trying to purchase a house. We'll also continue the conversation about refinancing, so many opportunities out there with all our new equity.
Yeah, what you're talking about, Harvey, is appraised values and that kind of thing. It's great to accept a high offer, and it's wonderful to get a high offer. But the bottom line is, as a lender, we're only going to lend on the appraised value. So there is some consideration there. And also, one of my biggest pet peeves, and try to keep this show positive, but when you're going out and you're looking for a house and you're hiring a realtor, which I recommend because they're professionals, they know what's on the market. I'm not saying you can't sell a house by yourself, you certainly can. But when looking for a house, you really need to have a realtor, and in my opinion, need to sell with a realtor as well. But realtors sell houses. They don't do mortgage loans. So it's kind of when you get your information, you need to get your information from a lender. Like, I would never just assume something because I have a real estate license and I drive around the market and I kind of been around here for a long time. I don't assume I know what's going on in the real estate market. I think I know what's going on in the lending arena and what's going on at lenders. So I don't give real estate advice. But it's amazing to me how many real estate professionals give mortgage advice. I just don't understand it.
248-539-9797 if you'd like to join the conversation. A gorgeous day out there. I think it's going to go up to 72 and sunny. We got a nice weekend ahead. I guess we can call it our Father's Day show, and we'll send a salute out to all the great fathers out there that work so hard to provide for their families and such. So if you'd like to join the show and talk a little bit about that, hey, we're interested in your phone call. Also, I ran into a really cool article yesterday, Alex. So I always think of you whenever they talk about these Generation Ys, these Generation Xers, and the millennials, of course, that are out there. And it was pretty cool. It was out there by Jan Swanson in the Mortgage News Daily. I took a few things out of the article that I thought I'd share with you about home ownership and the millennials. And they're going to call them now the Generation R, Alex, better known as Generation Renters.
So
I don't know if you saw that article.
Like in the early 20s?
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
The very young folks. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's the youngest of all. Actually, did I read?
22 and 33-year-olds, is that right? 1,600 millennials. Is that you're talking about the survey, Wells Fargo, between 1,600 millennials between 22 and 33?
There's nothing wrong with renting, and to be honest, like it's not your God-given right to have a mortgage.
Yeah, but the reasons, I think what Harvey's getting at, it's the reasons why that this generation has to rent. You're talking about a substantial amount of, if the article, I read the article too, Harvey, student debt.
Student loans.
Okay,
yeah.
The student loan situation in our country is out of control because the price of getting higher education, it's, in my opinion, it's a money grab. I mean, you can't believe how much tuition is, even at state institutions. Okay, you can?
I know.
Yeah,
it's definitely right.
Wait till you have kids that go to college and want to go to grad school and study abroad.
You mean like your
and
wife
all those
decides to go back and get her master's and her PhD?
Well, yeah, right, all that, and how about this? Your wife decides to go back to law school, and then you have kids that want to go to grad school and law school, med school, whatever it is. But the bottom line is that more kids, because you have to, more kids are going to college. College has become more accessible. Study online. It seems to me, if you take a look at things that have gone up in the last 20 years, the cost of education has gone up substantially.
Yeah.
And that's why the millennials are having a hard time buying houses because they're doing all the right things.
Yeah, they're educated. They're educating themselves.
They don't have the revolving debt that maybe the baby boomer generation had, but they have the student loan debt.
Well, it's definitely a little scary out there when you see what a lot of the kids are graduating with. They come out of there with 50, 60, 70,000 or a lot more than that in student loan debt. Of course, income could also be a little bit down, and lack of jobs is always a problem. But there's another thing that sort of crept in there is marriage is down between the younger ones. Of course, marriage tends to drive home ownership. Of course, part of getting married and settling down, of course, is all part of it. So they had some stats out there, but it's pretty interesting stuff out there. And again,
every time Harvey says the word marriage, he smiles. He has a smirk on his face.
It's a wonderful institution.
He's got this wry smile on his face all the time.
Are you happy, Harvey?
Times are different, folks. That's all I can tell you. Hey, 248-539-9797. We'll take all your calls.
Are you happy now when you were 3 years ago?
I'm always happy. I'm happy regardless.
If you're happy and we'll clap your hands.
Yeah, I'm over here.
My buddies.
Thank you. Of course, if you'd like to join the show again, 248-539-9797. And we always take those emails at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. Lots of things out there, including if you're getting bad advice still, if you're being misinformed, be sure to find out what the scoop is about home purchases. We still receive several calls from future clients really confused about what it takes to buy a house. Again, between the components of home ownership, as we always talk about, the down payment portion, whether you're going to go ahead and put 3.5% down or 5% down on a conventional mortgage, or there are some zero down opportunities. Of course, many of us out there, many of the veterans out there have this great opportunity to use their VA eligibility and purchase a house with zero down. You can purchase just about any house that way, typically not condominiums unless they're VA approved, so that can be a little sticky. But there are opportunities in the rural development. We've done quite a few of those loans lately. Again, anyone on the outskirts, really of this listening audience, would qualify. Most of those homes, northern Macomb, northern Oakland, Washtenaw, Genesee County, Livingston, Washtenaw, and anything pushing outwards. You guys can qualify if you're out there and you're thinking about purchasing a house. You definitely can zero down. Now, zero down, Alex, that's the down payment portion. What about everything else?
Well, I mean, you still have costs, obviously, and, there's still tax prorations, and, people forget, that it's not just the down payment you got to come in with. There are some, some third-party fees and closing costs. You need title insurance, you need an appraisal and all that. But, I think one of the things that sneaks up on a lot of clients are the tax prorations because, in Michigan, everybody knows that, we pay our taxes. We're always a year ahead. I think we're the only state left in the country that still pays them a year ahead of time. So when you buy a house, you have to reimburse that seller those taxes. So if your taxes are due July 1st, let's just say for the, and the seller pays them, let's just say they're $5,000, you got to reimburse that seller a whole year of property taxes.
Right.
It's not just the 20% down. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. And just to expand on that, of course, Alex is talking about the escrow account. One of the components of setting up the purchase is finding out everything that's involved in the transaction, including that moving truck. Hey, we're up against a break, but as you can see, we've got tons to share with you. 248-539-9797.
Need a better job? How about a career? Learn software and IT at New Horizons and get to work. Go to nhgreatlakes.com. Veterans may qualify for free training at New Horizons. Go to nhgreatlakes.com. nhgreatlakes.com.
In this town.
And this crowd is getting into it here at Comerica Park.
On this team.
The Tigers have done it.
They don't play for the name on the back of the jersey.
Miguel Cabrera. Justin Verlander.
They play for the letter on the front. Who's your Tiger?
Tuesday, June 17th, the Tigers host the Twins. The first 10,000 fans receive a Justin Verlander-themed floppy hat, courtesy of National Coney Island. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go to tigers.com.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Your hands, a symbol of who you are and the work you do. In the garage, under the hood, doing what you love. So when the work you do means getting new brake pads, Advance Auto Parts will get you back to the garage faster than anyone. We guarantee we'll have brake pads in store to fit most any vehicle made in the last 25 years. Or Advance will buy them for you. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage.
Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Sir, this is a no-wake zone.
I know, officer, but my boat is, docked.
Then explain the tsunami-sized wave that just capsized the Bloomberger's dinghy.
El Nino?
Okay, wise guy. What do you got in there? Some kind of supercharger?
Just my new JL Marine audio system from Mickey Shore.
Mickey who?
Mickey Shore. They carry all the top brands, JL Marine Audio, Rockford Fosgate, Kenwood, and more. Now I can connect and access my digital music library directly from my iPhone.
Slow your roll, Finn Diesel. From the looks of these hot rod lights, you're obviously involved in some kind of illegal Tokyo drifting.
No. It's LED marine lighting from Mickey Shore. Their factory-trained technician even came out to install it. It was a real steal.
Steal?
I didn't mean I...
You have the right to remain silent.
Want to rock the boat? Then head for the shore. Mickey Shore.
Get a pair of Kenwood 6.5-inch two-way marine speakers with 150 watts of power, built to withstand the elements. Now just $79.95, only at Mickey Shore.
Spring is finally here, and Ball Equipment of Richmond is once again proud to be Eastern Michigan's outdoor power equipment superstore. From trimmers to blowers, from ATVs to zero turns, simply put, we are Dad's ultimate toy store. Chris Ball here, personally inviting you to stop by and visit our brand new 30,000 square foot facility located between Gratiot and 32 Mile in downtown Richmond. Shop our huge inventory of Husqvarna, Gravely, Red Max, Ariens, and Cub Cadet outdoor power equipment, and the legendary lineup of Polaris ATVs and side-by-sides, all backed by Ball Equipment's 70 years in the business. For 7 decades and 4 generations, my family continues to believe that while price is important, it's the service after the sale that really counts. So if it's time this year to purchase a new piece of equipment for your home or garden, let the big box stores sell you a ladder. We will sell you a lawnmower. That's Ball Equipment, located between Gratiot and 32 Mile in downtown Richmond. Ball Equipment, Eastern Michigan's outdoor power equipment superstore since 1944.
Imagine a store that lets you get anything you wanted. An HD flat screen TV, a high-capacity, ultra-quiet washer and dryer, a complete living room set. And imagine if you didn't need a lick of credit to get it. That store simply believed in you. Imagine if they even delivered it, set it up, and serviced it at no additional cost. Well, that store exists. That's Rent-A-Center. Imagine that. No credit needed. Affordable payment plans. Delivery, setup, and service included. Imagine new possibilities at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase transaction. See store for details.
Don't become a victim of identity theft. Bring a non-perishable food item benefiting Gleaners, along with your old invoices, bank statements, and other documents to Comerica Bank and Iron Mountain's 7th Annual Community Shred Day, Saturday, June 14th from 9 to 5 at Comerica's Livonia Operations Center at 6 in Hagerty. Visit Comerica.com/Shred Day.
Sports you can believe in.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We're open all day today. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You can also shoot us that email at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com.
How's our Facebook page looking lately? You been there?
Definitely like it if you can find it. Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate. Yeah, all you got to do is punch it in and
good.
it pops up.
Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show.
We've been definitely putting in some interesting articles on there. And again, there's always these strategies out there. And in many housing markets, there's been bidding wars here. And we're actually going to get into that conversation. It's been the norm around here really for about the last 12 months. But you got to have a plan if you're going to be bidding on these houses. What do you do? How do you better your chances if you're in a bidding war? We always talk about that approval letter for one, and then a lot of different other strategies that you can put together.
Well, be prepared. Get all your paperwork together. Get your tax returns together, your check stubs, your last 2 months of bank statements, all pages. You got, get everything together and just make your life a lot easier that way.
And be aware. I mean, usually Debensky comes in with us from Scott Real Estate to talk about the housing market a little bit. But, be aware that if you're going to get into, a bidding war and a shootout on these properties, you better be prepared to make up the difference between what that house appraises at and what and what you're bidding. And, they'll try to tell you, realtors will tell you that, it's supply and demand. A house is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. I agree 100%. It is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. The caveat is that I can't finance it based on what someone's willing to pay for it. If somebody wants to overbid a house by $100,000, if it's worth $300,000 and you want to buy it for $400,000, you can, no problem. But you got to make up that difference then.
You better start saving your money for it. We talk about some of these different strategies. One of the old strategy that's out there and has come back in the limelight is the creation of the escalation clause, which basically can be set up on a purchase agreement that states that, look, hey, I've driven around, and we got a lot of clients that have done this. They're getting frustrated out there. They've driven around, they've made offers, 4 to 10, multiple offers, and they're not getting that house. You can put a clause in your purchase agreement that says that you're willing to pay $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 over the next bid. Now, again, there's some shady stuff that can go on with that. I mean, are you going to take a look at that other purchase agreement? Can somebody draw up a bogus purchase agreement? Look, at the end of the day, if you really want that house and you've driven around, you by now know and understand the value of that particular home.
That though, man.
Are you willing to pay $5,000 more for a house?
What if it's some sketchy realtor? That just throws in another deal, throws in a bogus offer.
Okay, then it's your decision to then you have
a lot of faith out there.
People are school's out now. Officially, school's out. Right. People are in the game now. People that, were in April and May, maybe they're searching, looking around, driving around houses, but people are now out there, and everybody's out there now because their kids are now out of school. They want to try to get into a house before the next school year, switch school districts, and things are happening like that. But there are bidding wars going on. We talk about the Woodward Corridor. We talk about our favorite county, Macomb County, what's going on in Macomb County. But you know what? Sooner or later, Alex, you got to make that decision. You got to make the decision. Do I want to go ahead and get into the bidding war game or not? But again, it's their decision, and we're only going to lend on what that house appraises for. Eventually, sales are going to catch up. Values are going to catch up to sales. Sooner or later, it has to happen.
Yeah, the appreciation here really jumped up over the last 12 months, but it's going to slow down.
But when you run into a time frame when you're emotionally involved in purchasing the largest purchase of your life, the largest transaction of your life, if you get emotionally involved that you have to have it, and there's a time factor involved, you're gonna overpay because you're too wrapped up in it. You got to do it with a level
of quality of life too. I mean, it's whatever you want.
Well, I believe in that quality of life. I don't believe that you buy a home for an investment. I believe you buy a home for quality of life because it's going to it's going to be where you live for a very long time. But emotionally, you can't get caught up in it.
Right. Financially speaking, if you overbid or overpaid for a house $5,000, let's even say, for example, you actually finance $10,000 more on a 30-year mortgage than you would be normally willing to pay. It's not a lot. It's about $50 a month in today's market with the interest rates at all-time low. So it's not a ton of money to get the house that you really want. And again, sometimes that house is really superior to what the neighborhood is comping out for here. It could have a brand new kitchen. Alex could have a brand new bathroom. It could be, something really awesome. And by now, you've already really got all that knowledge. You've already seen out there what's available. So are you willing to go the extra mile? Put that strategy together. You really have to sit down. This isn't the olden days of I'm going to go out there, drive around, make offers. It's going to happen. You better have a professional real estate agent, mortgage person,
and
a great
have
plan.
On point from a real estate standpoint.
Right, and the market has changed in the last 2.5 years. We know that.
Absolutely.
248-539-9797. I actually wrote down that information about the who's buying houses out there. Alex, it was something like this, pretty interesting. They have all sorts. You got the older boomers. The older boomers are, when were they born? Did I write that down? 1946 to 1954. So that's the older boomers. 14% of them are the home buyers out there. The younger boomers.
Is downsizing, though?
There is a reason for downsizing. That's actually, they call that the silent generation now. I love how they categorize it.
I'm a younger boomer now?
You're considered, actually, you're a younger boomer, Harry. 55 to 64. Do you want to jump in there? Older boomers would be 46 to 54. And they call I love the other one, the silent generation. Shh, don't tell anybody what we make. Do you really need to see my ass?
Which one is that?
That's Grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Grandpa. And Alex,
you don't need to see this. Okay.
You don't need to see that stuff.
Hey, I make a lot of money. You don't need to see this. I got a lot of money in the bank.
Don't worry about it.
You don't need the statement.
Yeah. Well, Alex, you nailed it on right on the nose there. It's definitely, what are they doing? Their motivation is to downsize. Usually they're selling that big family home. They're downsizing, getting into a condominium, sometimes going into a form of assistant living setup. Now they've got some unbelievable opportunities out there.
I put my parents in a home.
Well, it doesn't have to be a home.
I'm just kidding.
They have to play backgammon every minute or something.
Why'd you look at me and said parents in a home?
No, I didn't look at you.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Sorry, partner.
All right. Also, want to throw out there. Oh, we got that still. Did I hit that? We definitely want to talk about all the opportunities out there. A lot of distressed properties are still lingering on in the marketplace. So we want to talk about that, as many of the real estate agents that I've spoke to recently have gone out on listing appointments, and there's some nasty houses out there, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, the people that have driven around, and if you're out there and you're a buyer, you've seen some of these houses. You can purchase them. There's loans out there available, but it's not your standard loan. It might be an FHA 203K loan. It might be a situation where the house is in such distress that it needs too much money and it can't be brought up. And of course, if it's too high of a loan amount, you can't get an FHA 203K.
I would be very, very careful about buying houses and doing monster rehab projects if you don't do that. Because let me tell you, man, every single project I've ever gotten involved with has gone ridiculous over budget, no matter what you think of. And it's because I don't do that. That's not what I do for a living. I'm a mortgage guy. I'm not a handyman. I'm not a house flipper. I'm not a landlord. So you just need to be very, very conscious of what's going on. Because, I mean, listen, if anybody could buy a house and flip it and make money, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people out there that are skilled at it.
Sure, absolutely.
And I agree with the cautionary tactic as well. You have to be, that has to be in your wheelhouse. You have to be able to handle that kind of thing. But there are a tremendous amount of values in homes that are a little bit, they're run down.
They need some love.
They're run down. They need a little love,
Yeah.
Cosmetics. Maybe they need some electrical. Maybe they need some plumbing. But bottom line is we have a loan for you. It is that FHA 203K loan. And it's we do a lot of them, and they're great.
Find out more about all of this by calling us, 248-539-9797, here live in the studio, or all day long at Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. Again, how to purchase a house. Put that whole strategy and plan together. The more I was sitting down last night,
just popped up on CNN. Sorry, how to win a bidding war on a home.
We know that one. We got a first caller to start things off here this morning. Let's go with Rick out in Pleasant Ridge. Hey, Rick, thanks for calling in. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
What's up, Rick? What's up in the PR today?
Yeah, just beautiful weather, that's all.
Good.
I'm calling about, I helped my sister 4 years ago buy a house in Ferndale at a very, very good price. And she owes us about $25,000 on it. But we'd like to get our money back and have her take out a mortgage or an equity line on the house. She doesn't have very good credit. It's under 700, probably even lower than 600.
There's a huge difference there between 700 and 600.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She had a bankruptcy about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And so we think that should be off her record, but I haven't seen her credit rating yet. I just want to know, should we...
So, Rick, hey, let me jump in, man. So did you buy the house for her for cash?
Yes.
And how much was the purchase price?
$38,000.
You bought a house in Ferndale for $38,000?
Yeah, but that was 4 years ago.
Not bad, man.
Sure.
I mean, it's
He bought it right.
It's got to come back huge since then. I mean, I'd like to take a look at her credit and see what we can do for her. I mean, there's loans out there. I mean, you can take cash out of the property to pay you back for sure.
Right.
What's the house worth now?
I'd hope to see it at least $70,000 to $75,000.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Let me call after the show and get her information, and we'll see what we can put together for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
So you don't live too far from her. You just live right up Woodward from her, huh?
Right, yeah.
There
And
you go.
I buy and sell properties, too, but I need to get my money back from her so I can buy and invest more myself. So.
Yeah. How are you finding the market out there? How are you finding that, tell me about the market
I
out
just flipped a
there.
house in Ferndale for big bucks. So the market is really, really hot in Ferndale.
Now, on the buy-in, you're going to go out and try to buy more properties. Are you finding it tough to buy homes?
Yeah, there's no inventory, and, cash buyers, have all the clout right now. So we're trying to, get more cash in our pocket to buy more properties.
Awesome call, Rick.
Thanks for the call, brother.
Way to go. All right, we're up against another break here. When we come back, all your calls, 248-539-9797.
Assistant to the head assistant manager of managers, lead strategist and offensive coordinator, regional managing, senior supervising, administrative directing partner of sales and marketing of the West South Central region.
Want a real business title? Go where you can learn all about real business. Walsh College. Walsh offers undergraduate and graduate business programs in accounting, management, finance, business IT, and more, along with certificate programs, all taught by successful business leaders. Classes in Troy, Novi, Clinton Township, Port Huron, and online.
Exceptionally long-range visionary officer, head of water cooler and paper cup replenishment.
Start working toward a real title. Walsh College. Live, breathe, business.
Move up in the world with a degree from Walsh College, one of the Midwest's most respected all-business colleges. Summer classes begin June 27th. More at walshcollege.edu.
This is a great time to visit Ray Wiggins Nursery, where the many colors of summer are in full bloom. Add beautiful color to your porch, patio, or deck. It's easy with our begonia porch pots. Normally $29.99, now just $19.99. That's over 30% off. And all shade trees and flowering trees are all 20% off. And right now, save on all 1, 2, and 3 gallon size perennials. Now all 20% off. And for all loyalty members, save 25% off. Plus, all patio furniture and umbrellas are all 25% off. And when you visit Ray Wiggins Nursery this week, be sure to walk through our butterfly garden with dozens and dozens of beautiful butterflies and gorgeous plants. You'll be amazed. Visit our website at WigginsNursery.com for more great savings. Remember, for the best quality, selection, value, and service, buy direct from the nursery. Ray Wiggins Nursery, since 1941. In Macomb Township, on Romeo Plank Road, we make it worth the drive.
So a lot of people have been asking me, what's the easiest way for me to save a little bit of money on my gas bill? Well, we have Bill here from DTE to tell us.
Even if you turn your thermostat down just a little bit, say down to 68 degrees, you can have significant savings on your gas bill.
Significant, huh?
Oh, yeah. One of the best and most convenient ways that you can control your thermostat is by going and getting a programmable thermostat. So you're not paying for heating your house when nobody's there.
That is pretty convenient. So what's DTE doing to save me a little bit of money?
Well, one of the things we do is that we will buy the natural gas during the summertime when the price is lower. We store it in the gas storage fields that we have here in central Michigan. And then during the heating season, we pass the savings on to our customers. Over the last 3 years, DTE Energy's lowered the cost of natural gas by an amazing 27%.
That sounds like a nice bit of change back in my pocket.
Absolutely, and you're taking me out to dinner with it.
Fair enough. Learn more about how DTE works to keep gas rates low and how those rates are reflected on your bill at DTEenergy.com. DTE Energy, know your own power.
I was not a happy person. I felt anxious and worried all the time about everything. I was snapping at my husband and kids. I was just miserable. Finally, I said, enough is enough. And I called to try a sample of Lumiday. And now, I am so happy that I did.
If you worry too much, feel anxious or exhausted, Lumiday can help you feel more relaxed, confident, and positive. Enjoy a complimentary 2-week sample now by calling 1-800-400-1914. Lumiday is uniquely formulated with powerful ingredients clinically researched to promote a more positive mood. Lumiday has helped thousands of people feel more relaxed and enjoy happier days, and it's now the #1 selling mood enhancement supplement at GNC. So if you're ready to feel more relaxed, confident, and positive, call now for your complimentary sample. Lumiday is available at GNC, Rite Aid pharmacies, and Vitamin World, but you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling now. 1-800-400-1914. That's 1-800-400-1914.
At Huntington, they're passionate about doing the right thing, like doing what's right for their customers. To find out why banking with Huntington is so rewarding, visit huntington.com. Welcome.
The craft beer event of the summer is today from 1 to 5 at DTE Energy Music Theater, Michigan Beer Fest. Sample beers from over 50 breweries. Get your tickets for today's Michigan Beer Fest at the gate.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Tigers fall to the Minnesota Twins. Final score 2-0. This update brought to you by Meyer. Kyle Gibson throwing 7 shutout innings. Drew Smalley giving up just 1 run in 6. Joe Nathan giving up a run and a bases load, a walk in the 9th. Anibal Sanchez today for the Tigers. 4-8 the first pitch right here on The Ticket. Tigers have now dropped 17 of 24 to lead down to a game and a half over Kansas City in the Central. L.A. Kings win their second Stanley Cup in 3 years, 3-2 over the New York Rangers. They win it 4-1. Meanwhile, the Lions have cut cornerback Chris Houston. With the money saved, they signed tight end Eric Ebron. He was their top draft pick. Hall of Fame football coach Chuck Noll, vet at the age of 82. It's Martin Carver by 6 shots through 2 rounds at the U.S. Open. From the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
The football team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Lions live here.
All right, welcome back to the show. Till 10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank.
Let's go. Wake up, Detroit. Where is everybody? Wake up.
It's such a good sleeping day with those windows cracked. Anyways, we're going to continue the conversation here this morning about refinancing.
That is true, man. When it gets cold.
It's great sleeping.
Oh, my God. I sleep 3-4 hours a night. What are you talking about?
Actually, a great hockey game last night, of course, because it's Hockey Town, and let's throw that out there.
Right.
I stayed up on to represent Hockey Town last night and watched the Kings pull it off in overtime. And, of course, that local guy who might have lived here for a short time, but he did get the winner in OT, which is really cool. But we continued a conversation about the benefits of paying off your debt or restructuring that toxic debt. And that's what it is out there with the newly found equity that a lot of us have out there. Great opportunities to really turn everything into a tax deduction. And that's the key, is what can you do to better your mortgage situation? Find out, of course, call Capital Mortgage. We see so many families out there taking the first and the home equity loans, the first mortgage and second mortgages, combining them into one new low fixed rate. That's a great idea. Reducing the term, or even in some situations, extending the term and giving yourself that flexibility every month. Alex, as much as we do love to see families obviously drop into 15 years and 10-year fixed loans, hey, if you consolidate your debt, put the term back to a 20 or even a 30, it gives you that option to maybe save some additional money.
Well, you got to remember, there's no prepayment penalties. So you can always pay more every month as opposed to locking yourself into a 15-year, or 10-year fix. And I mean, I love people's mindset most of the time, like, I want to pay the mortgage off. I want to go to a 15-year. But you got to make sure everything else is good to go. I mean, no other credit card debt, no student loans. I mean, everything's on a case-by-case basis.
Right. And do you have a savings? Are you saving properly for your retirement? Do you have kids that are going to be going to college in the future? And as you said that, I was saying to myself, we always use those 5-year increments, but of course we offer any term you want between 8 and 30 years. So again, every program out there, call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE. You're going to save a ton of money and get some professional guidance along the way. Let's try Patrick out there in Farmington Hills. Good morning, Pat. You're live on The Ticket.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning, sir.
My question is, I have pretty bad credit. My credit's sub-6. My fiance and I are getting married next year and looking to buy a house. Her credit's probably 640 range, but I make close to $40,000 to $45,000 a year, but I'm only 25. Is there any options out there with her having a better credit, but me having a better income?
No, we got to fix your credit. That's the first step, Patrick. What I want to do is I want to take a look at your credit when we get back to the office, and I've got some great software I can run it through, and it'll tell us what we have to pay off or pay down and the impact it'll have on your credit report and your credit scores. So why is the credit so bad?
Student loans.
Mm-hmm. Well, you paying them on time?
I got put behind on them. Had a death in the family and was out of work for a while because of an injury out of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And just a lot of rough stuff.
So you're a veteran?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the scoop, man. We can do a VA loan for you, which is 0 down and no PMI. We got to get your credit scores up a little bit, though. Let me call after the show. I'll take a look at that and see what we can do for you.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, Patrick.
That's great. Yeah, we'll fix your credit up. And again, Alex, as you mentioned, if he's a veteran, you can go 0 down. So a lot of opportunity.
And that's the thing. There's no magic sauce to fixing people's credit, okay? There's no, you just can't do it in one fell swoop. If you owe money, you have to pay it off, and you have to pay it on time. It takes a long time. When I say a long time, it takes time to fix people's credit. We just, like Alex, you said, we go through the software. You go through the steps to go ahead and make sure people pay on time. And then guess what? People's credit scores and the points on their credit scores come up.
Yep, get some guidance.
You can ruin your credit in a month. It takes a long time to get it back, unfortunately. Sure. More often than not, when you have someone like that, with those lower credit scores, I can fix it by paying down some of the revolving debt. I mean, if you got multiple late payments, I mean, dude, that's what your credit score is.
It might take 12 months.
Time, it's going to be lower.
All right, we're going to move on to another call. We got Stu out there in Allen Park. Good morning, Stu. You're live on the ticket.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Okay, so I own my house in Allen Park, and I probably have about $30,000 in equity in it. And I'm looking at a lakefront property up north. It's not the most desirable lake probably in the world, but I'm in a bidding battle with these people, and I'm pretty much stretched to the max on what I can afford in order to pull this deal off, and I got to pull all my resources together.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you guys think that lakefront properties are going to appreciate, it's going to be worth it. So I'm buying this property knowing that I can't really use it for the next few years.
Well, I guess the red flag that pops up to me is that you just said it's not the most desirable lake. You're in a bidding war, and you're doing it like you're worried about going up in value. I mean,
that's my question. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's not the most desirable lake, I wouldn't plan on it going up in value at all. What lake is it on?
Mac Lake.
I don't know what that is.
Is it an all sports lake?
Not really. It's a smaller lake in Mayo. It's probably, it's kind of a muckier lake. It's
What's the purchase price?
What purchase price?
But I know what they paid for it.
Doesn't matter what they paid for it. What's the purchase price now?
$129,000.
Okay, I mean, so and you're stretched to what? The bidding war is what? I mean, someone's at offered $135.
They're asking $129,000. I offered them $99,000, knowing that they paid $80,000 for it.
It doesn't matter what they bought it for.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. But just because somebody paid less doesn't mean you're not going to pay more than they are. And values do go up. And my perception of lake property is, lakes are pretty solid. They're not making any more lakes, my man.
I got tons of clients.
And it's really a lifestyle for you.
Yeah,
but that seems pretty reasonable for a lake property.
Stu, let me ask you this. This is one of the things. I love this conversation this morning. It's a little more laid back. How many times do you go up north in a year?
Not very many right now.
I'm not. Look, and I want to own a place everywhere up north. I love going up north. A lot of times I sit down with clients and we really break down the cost of buying a new place. Again, I appreciate the fact that you got some equity in your place down here in Allen Park. But at this particular time, you're in a bidding war. The lake's not that desirable. Of course, you've got to get all this confidence and knowledge behind you. I would need to know, if I was your brother, I would say to you, let me see all the comparable sales in the neighborhood. First of all, I would really sit you down and say, how often are you going to use this place? Truly, how often are you going to use this place? You've got insurance, you got taxes. It's a second home. You're going to come out of pocket for, 10% down, 20% down. You're looking at coming out of pocket for $20,000 to make the place right. Are you going up there snowmobiling? who else is going to buy it from you in the future? There are just all these different questions to ask. You know, I don't know if you called our show this morning for us to talk you out of the purchase. It's not something I want to necessarily do. But at the end of the day, I truly think when I call you back off the airs, maybe we should write all these things down. Maybe you should continue going up north, visiting up there, and see what other areas might be more attractive for you. There are some steals out there. You know, a guy at our office, I don't want to throw any names out there, bought an unbelievable place up north for like $50,000. It's an outbuilding. It's unbelievable. And it's not on a great lake, but he's a fisherman. He likes to use the lake. It's not a all sports lake, but he's getting his use out of it, and he spent $50,000. So maybe there's something out there that would work for you, a little bit less money. And more importantly, are you a buyer right now in today's market? I don't know.
But if it's your lifestyle, you got to, you know, if it fits your lifestyle and something you want to do, you can't go back and say they paid $89,000, so I'm only going to pay $99,000. Well, if the market's $129,000, pay $129,000. If you really want it.
Okay.
Stu, have you done your research on what other homes are selling for?
Yeah.
Do you have that list? Do you have like 10 other houses you've looked at and you know what's going on up there or not?
I don't have 10. I've looked at a few, and it's probably in the ballpark, and it is a decent property. But my theory is kind of, if I wait till when I can really use it a lot, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now,
the price will be higher.
It's going to be out of my price range.
There you go.
And I'll be looking to retire then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a better thought process.
Well, like all of us, we're always sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. What are you going to do with I mean, I don't know. Does Stu have any kids? What else does he have planned for the future? Look, we've got some answers to your questions. Some things we can't answer
well,
for you.
You're not buying for now. You're buying for the future.
All right, that could be a good plan. Maybe he needs to get a partner on it and see if he can get a co-signer. All right, 248-539-9797. When we come back, all your calls.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Doug Manns here with Manns Lumber and Millwork. Thinking about replacing or installing a new deck this year? Do it right. Go to the #1 Trex dealer, who has the #1 Trex installers. That's Manns Lumber and Millwork in Canton and Trenton. Go to manslumber.com and find our team of certified Trex Pro installers. We can help you build the deck you've always dreamed of. Yes, Trex is the way to go, for sure. I mean, think about it. You'll never have to stain your deck again. Never. No sanding, no staining, no painting, ever. Sure, Trex costs more, but it's worth it in the long run because you'll have a deck that lasts a lifetime. It won't warp, rot, or give you splinters. So man up and do it right. Install Trex. Manns Lumber and Millwork in Canton and Trenton, the #1 Trex dealer in the Midwest. Call 1-800-TRY-MANNS or go to manslumber.com and find a Trex Pro installer to help you get your project started today.
Manns Lumber and Millwork, the #1 Trex dealer in Michigan, has a team of certified Trex installers to help you with your deck project. Call 1-800-TRY-MANNS or click on manslumber.com.
Jenna from Clarkston has a question for DTE Energy, and we have Kate here to help answer it. So, Kate, how can Jenna save energy and money?
Well, don't worry, Jenna. We have a lot of online tools to help our customers be more efficient and save money.
Oh, I love saving money. Can I borrow $1?
Sure. But how about I just tell you to go to our Energy Efficiency House? That'll help you find energy savings tips for inside and outside.
Excellent. Now, talk to me about lighting.
When you go to the store and you're overwhelmed by all of the choices in light bulbs?
I'm constantly overwhelmed.
The lighting guide is going to help you with that. It gives you information on what's changed in lighting and what to look for when buying bulbs.
There's tons of varieties, right?
Oh, yeah. You can even have them in your dining room chandelier.
Now, talk to me about this My Energy Analyzer.
It's an interactive tool that's going to help you evaluate where the savings are in your house based on how you use energy.
So the best thing to do is for people to go to dteenergy.com/saveenergy, right?
Yep. There you'll find over 100 energy savings tips, links to videos, and information about all of our rebates.
I hope that answered your question, Jenna. And thanks to Kate from DTE. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Attention new car buyers. It's the 2014 inventory sell down at Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, America's #1 volume dealer. Parkway has over 3,000 vehicles that must be sold. We are kicking it off with a massive 3-day sale, Friday, Saturday, and Monday till 9 p.m. During the Dodge 100-year event, special lease deals under $150 a month are available. Great deals on new Dodge Darts and Jeep Patriots with over 300 to choose from. Plus, America's #1 dealer offers more for your trade-in. $2,000 more the appraised value plus an extra $2,000. Parkway's Lease Pull-Ahead program will get you out of any lease with a $3,000 or less payoff. No strings attached. We have the largest selection of Challengers, and right now save $20,000 on a new SRT Viper. Bring your trade-in and the necessary documents and drive home your new vehicle the same day. Only at Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Jeep Ram, Hall Road, just west of Groesbeck in Clinton Township. To show up, sign up, and ride. Open Saturday 10 to 3. See dealer for details at ParkwayCPJ.com 24/7.
Imagine a world where pocket protectors are considered cool.
Talk about your chick magnets.
Where women admire brains over brawn.
That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me that I didn't understand.
Where the Big Bang Theory is on 5 nights a week.
Bazinga!
And that's pretty damn cool. The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Watch weeknights at 7 and 10 on CW50.
With a Sam's Club membership, you get incredible savings every time you shop. Summer's the time to save. So hurry into your local club to find amazing limited time offers. Pick up 80% Angus ground chuck for only $2.98 a pound. Or save on delicious boneless, skinless chicken breast, just $1.88 a pound. Join Sam's Club today and get summer cooking with incredible prices on premium meats, the freshest produce, and more. Join and save. Sam's Club. Because life is better when you're in the club. See club for details.
Meet the 97.1 The Ticket Street Team and the Ticket Chicks at the Michigan Beer Fest today from 1 to 5 on the grounds of DTE Energy Music Theater. Sample craft beer from over 50 local and national breweries, including Bell's, Founders, Griffin Claw, Lost. Try a special brown ale from Atwater Brewing Company exclusive to the Michigan Beer Fest. You can win a 4-pack of Detroit Tigers tickets for Monday, June 30th in celebration of the 1984 World Champion Detroit Tigers, courtesy of Comerica Bank. Tickets are $35 at the gate. Go to PalaceNets.com.
97.1 The Ticket, where real men come to play.
Welcome back to the show. Till 10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's easy. 1-800-569-7283. Also, send us an email, mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. Check us out on Facebook and like our page and check it out. We always put some interesting stuff out there. And, of course, if you'd like to join the show, we got some open lines. 248-539-9797. You know, one of the best ways about a home buying process, make it easier on yourself. Get acquainted with your options out there. How about this? Define your goals. Understand the reasons why you want to buy. It's sort of like that last caller. What's your motivation? Defining the reasons why will definitely go a long way and help you shape your transaction and decide what you're going to do. Again, you're going to get the best results.
I just think that if you're buying a second home and you're even remotely concerned about price on that for $1,000 here or there, you shouldn't be buying it. I mean, it's that's 2 heating bills, 2 electric bills, 2 water bills. I mean, that should be the last thing on your mind.
Right, that's part of your discretionary income purchase, right? So it's kind of like if you buy a car and you worry about how much gas you got to put in. You don't buy a car and worry about the gas mileage. I mean, right. If it's a second car, a third car, whatever it is. I mean, that's the thing. You're gonna waste your time if you're gonna put your head down on your pillow every night and worry about the payment. Yeah. Chances are you shouldn't do it.
You're waiting for that to get paid to make the payment next. And you're worried about that. That is not a good thing good spot to be, man.
Different opportunities for different situations. Of course, if you're buying a place and it's near a ski resort, I mean, maybe you could rent it out a month or 2 out of the year and cover some of your costs. But there's a lot of what ifs, so you got to be very careful. Hey, let's continue the calls here this morning. We got Tony out there in Roseville. Good morning, Tony. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, I own my house here in Roseville. I've been here for before the break and the action there. I owe about $100,000. I believe it's probably only worth about $70,000. I've been wanting to move here for about 2 years, but I'm a little bit stuck at where I'm at with it, with what I owe. I don't believe I could get a second mortgage on my income. My credit is very good. It's A credit, probably 720 or more.
Okay.
Just kind of in a bad spot and don't know where to go with it.
Why do you think you can't qualify for another house?
I'm thinking only because of income.
Can you rent the house you're in now?
Could I rent it? I think I probably could, yes.
I mean,
the rent is high in the area.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say you'd be surprised what the computer will actually allow you to do buying another house. What's the price range you're looking at for the next house you'd like to buy?
Probably $150.
Yes, you're probably talking a payment of about $1,200 on that one. I mean,
yep.
What's the payment on the one you have right now?
About $9,000.
And you have any other major debt, car payments, student loans, credit cards?
Car payment.
Well, how much is the car payment?
About $300, $350.
I mean, do you make $50,000, $60,000?
About $70,000.
Yes, I mean, I think you'll be okay, man. I mean, let me take a look at everything. I'll call after the show and see what I can do for you. I think we can qualify for the other mortgage if you want to buy another house.
Definitely. Is that going to be, my big question would be, what is the percentage down for something like that? I mean, on a second mortgage, is it a 10, 20%
No, you
down?
could do
or is it
3.5%
something
down.
I could get into?
No, you could do it FHA with 3.5% down, and we could do conventional with 5% down. I mean, we've got a bunch of options.
Okay.
That's the thing, man. A lot of people get a little flipped out when they try to buy, a second house and rent theirs. It's just something we have to sit down and go through together, but it's definitely a doable deal.
Okay, sounds good. I look forward to the call.
You got
Thank
it. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. Of course, a few dollars in reserves are required for that. You can use your 401k. They don't have to be liquid reserves. We use about 60% of your 401k. And typically, if you want to buy a second house and retain your existing one, the requirement is that you have 6 months of what each house payment's going to be in reserve. So again, if one of the house payments $1,000, then you're going to need $6,000 on that house, and if the other one's $2,000. So do the math. Call us at Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE. We'll show you how to get it done the right way. Let's continue the calls. We've got Matt out there in Madison Heights. Hey, Matt, what's up?
Hi. About 5 years ago, I had a bankruptcy. And since then, I've done everything I needed to do to, build up my credit again. I'm just wondering, what are the chances of me qualifying for a mortgage?
Was there a house in the bankruptcy?
Yes, there was.
There was a foreclosure, too.
No, I never got a foreclosure.
So
but it did go to a sheriff's sale. I'm not sure if
that's a foreclosure, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When was the sheriff's sale? What was the date on that?
About 2 months ago.
Yeah, you're not getting another mortgage.
Okay.
Matt,
No, I was told by my lawyer that shouldn't matter because the house is written off 5 years ago.
If it went to sheriff's sale 2 months ago, you need at least, at a minimum, 3 years from that point, from the date of the sheriff's sale.
Yeah, that's the key. That sheriff's deed's the key, Matt. What we'll do is follow up with you, get the address. It only takes us a minute. We'll call our title company and pull the sheriff's deed for you. It'll specifically say the date in which we could move forward 3 years from that date that's on that sheriff's deed. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Not always the best news.
Okay, so you'll call me back?
Yes, sir. We'll follow up with you here right after the show. I'm going to get your information. We'll get your address so we can go ahead and pull that sheriff's deed for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Look, we talk about professionals out there. Top 10%, look, the 10% of the real estate agents are fantastic out there. Top 10% of the mortgage people, pretty dang good. But if you're talking to people that don't have all the answers, we still get calls. Some of the most intelligent people, lawyers, anybody around this area, always call us up and say, hey, guys, this is our situation. What's the answer to it? And sometimes that answer changes. So,
well, listen, there isn't a day that goes by. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I did not invent the mortgage industry. I know there are a lot of mortgage guys out there that think that they invented it. I know I did not invent the mortgage industry. So every day I talk to attorneys, financial planners, CPAs. I get the scoop on what's going on in their industry so I can go ahead and, certainly make proper decisions for what we do at our office. So I don't know how anybody out there that is not in the mortgage banking industry on a day in and day out basis can offer their opinion up and be solid about it. I just don't get it.
The information's changing too here when they got all these brand new consumer CFPB. Do people know what that is?
We talked about a long time ago. If you remember, I went on a rant about, disseminating accurate versus inaccurate information. I mean, there's a lot of inaccurate information out there, and you've just got to know where to go for the right information.
All right, let's continue calls. We can sneak Ralph in out in Waterford. Hey, good morning, Ralph. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ralph.
Quick question. We have a place up in northern Michigan that my wife and I are going to retire to, but we need to rebuild it. We have a home in Waterford that's paid off. The place up north is paid off. Is it best to get a mortgage to rebuild while you're still working, or does it matter, to wait till we retire?
I would do while you're still working. I think it's a little bit easier because if you retire, unless you have pension income coming in, I would need a 2-year average of your income.
Okay, we pretty much have enough money in the equity in the Waterford home and $100,000 set aside to add to that to rebuild.
Okay.
So is it still best to do it while we're working?
Yes.
Or does
I would do it
really
now.
matter?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still best to do it while you're gaining income. You can show
100%.
income and employment. It'll make life a lot easier.
And it's also best to do it while interest rates are what they are today, which is, 40, 50-year low. So we like the idea that you move forward with it now. If you're going to borrow the money, do it the right way. Do it while things are great here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll call after the show. I'm going to take care for you, Ralph.
Thanks, Ralph.
All right, thank you very much.
You got it.
All right, 248-539-9797 if you want to sneak a call in.
Moving up north, that's nice.
Well, there you go. And, of course, he's got both of his houses paid for. Again, there's a lot of families out there that have done things the right way.
Well,
over
he sounds really
years.
organized, too.
I agree.
Sounds like he has a plan and he's really organized.
Well, that's the key here. If you're going to get your ducks in a row, you're going to have a lot better opportunities out there. We talk about the documentation required for a mortgage. Again, if you're out there, you're trying to get a mortgage, you haven't completed your tax returns,
listen,
that could be a problem.
There aren't three guys in the mortgage industry like us that will admit that we understand that it's a documentation process. Okay, it's the best way. We get it. We understand there. So the general public has to know that we understand that we're asking you for a lot of documents, but guess what? We're lending you money. So therefore, we need the documents.
I still don't think it's that. The documentation to borrow. I mean, people want to borrow $250,000 and, like, I need bank statements,
it's like
pay
7
stubs,
things.
and tax returns.
Right,
like,
and they get to live there. And we're an 80% partner, and they're a 20% partner. Sure.
Listen, I mean, nobody likes paperwork, but, I mean, dude, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, here's email me and your CPA on the same email and say, hey, Mr. CPA, give Alex what he needs. Thanks.
Right. We become a little bit of documentation gatherers. That's what we do. All right, gentlemen, that's it.
No way.
Well, it's beautiful out there. Hey, let's throw this out there.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Listen, my family treats me well. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, but to all the fathers out there, I know you feel the same way.
All right, we got Pat Caputo coming up in the on-deck circle. Call Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'll see you next week here on the show.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038 Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Right now is the best time in years to list your home for sale. Hi, I'm Realtor Jeff Glover. The number of buyers in the market have increased dramatically, and they're out looking for homes right now. Plus, with available inventory near historic lows, your home will have less competition on the market. In other words, demand for homes is up while the supply of homes is very low, putting more money in your pocket. Homeowners who sell their homes with us get over 98% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days.
Hi, my name's Brian Berryman. I'm from Bloomfield Hills. Heard Jeff's ads on the radio. I was having a hard time selling my house in Royal Oak, so I gave him a call. He took a complicated process, made it extremely easy, paid attention to detail, said I'd have my house sold in 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, house is sold. I'd recommend working with him to anybody.
Call Jeff Glover right now at 855-JEFF-SELLS. Whether your home is in Novi, Shelby Township, Brighton, Birmingham, Clarkston, or Ann Arbor, Jeff will get it sold. Call Jeff toll-free at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. Realtor Jeff Glover, a household name. Jeff Glover is affiliated with Keller Williams Realty.
Nitrous-infused confetti cannons, jetpacks, a Hemi-powered meat smoker. Just a few ways you may expect Dodge to celebrate 100 years of innovation. Instead, they're offering deals on the sporty refinement of the Dodge Dart with available 184 horsepower. And much like the musical stylings of Motley Crue, deals on the capable Journey Crossroad, the most versatile vehicle in its class, really rock. As do deals in the Grand Caravan, the most awarded minivan ever. So hurry to the Dodge 100-year event. Buy Jetpack if necessary.
Well-qualified employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2014 Dodge Journey RT front-wheel drive for $266 a month for 24 months with $266 due at signing. Tax, title, and license extra.